Saturday, October 14th is the big day as an annular eclipse sweeps across the United States. Annular comes from the Latin word annulus, which means ring, so annular means having the form of a ring. All right, let's see how this eclipse is going to play out. I like to use this website called timeanddate.com. I'll post the link in the description below. But this bright red line represents the path of annularity. That's the path where the moon will be completely contained within the sun's disk. Anywhere outside of this bright red line, you'll still see an eclipse. It's just that the moon won't be 100% contained within the sun. So you can click on any point on this map and see what the conditions will be. So for instance, right here where it makes landfall, which is just between Florence and Dune City, you can see that obscuration will be 88.89%, meaning that the sun won't be completely covered. It'll only be 88, almost 90% covered. And you can see what it'll look like with this little simulator. So the moon will come in from above. It'll obscure the sun. Not completely, though. You can still see this ring, hence the term annular, and then it will move on. So the eclipse in that area will start at about 8:05 a.m. The full annularity begins at 9:15 a.m. and ends at 9:20. So 4.5 minutes there between Florence and Dune City. Now Eugene, on the other hand, they'll only see 3 minutes and 53 seconds of total annularity. And up here in Albany, just north of Corvallis, they're not going to see total annularity, but the duration of the eclipse is still about 2.5 hours. And here's what it'll look like in Albany. That's how much the sun will be obscured. So it comes down, doesn't quite cover the whole thing. We've still got a little bit right there that's not covered. And then it'll move on. That's in Albany. Let's check out Corvallis. They'll only see 1 minute and 35 seconds of annularity. So the further you get from this center line, the lower the duration of annularity. Up here, let's check out Newport. Newport's going to see 3 minutes and 7 seconds of annularity. And outside of this, it'll also show, like for instance up here in Bellingham, at the maximum obscuration will be 76%. And Seattle, 79%, almost 80%. All right, well, let's move east here and see how things play out in different cities. There aren't a lot of major cities in the path until you get down here to Battle Mountain, Nevada, and Carlin, Nevada, Elko. The conditions in Elko, they're going to see 4 minutes and 19 seconds of annularity. That's not too bad. Continuing on the path. Let's see, what state are we in? We're in Utah now. So Richfield, Junction, Beaver, Loa, Fillmore, you're all going to see a pretty good, 4 minutes of annularity. 4 minutes and 30 seconds in Fillmore there. Beaver is going to see 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Junction, 4 minutes and 31 seconds of annularity. So you can just click around and see what the conditions will be. Now Albuquerque, New Mexico. The eclipse starts at 9:13 a.m., but full annularity begins at 10:34 and it lasts till 10:39. They're going to get almost 5 minutes of annularity right there in Albuquerque. And the surrounding areas will get a little bit less. But Albuquerque will be a great city to view the eclipse. Roswell, 4 minutes and 40 seconds of annularity, starting at 10:38 a.m., ending at 10:43. So the moment of annularity is much shorter than the actual eclipse. The eclipse goes on for a couple of hours, but annularity only lasts a few moments. Now down here in Odessa and Midland, Gardendale, Greenwood, they're going to see 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes of annularity down there in Texas. Odessa sees 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, Midkiff, you're right in the path. 4 minutes and 56 seconds of annularity. So San Antonio, you're going to get a pretty good show. See that they get 4 minutes and 12 seconds. And the partial eclipse again begins at 10:23 and lasts till 1:30. So, a couple of hours, 3 hours of eclipse. But annularity only lasts 4 minutes and 12 seconds there in San Antonio. As in most places, the annularity is not more than about 5 minutes. All right, let's go down here. The last city on our tour here, Corpus Christi, right in the path of annularity. They get 5 minutes of annularity, beginning at 11:56 a.m. and ending at 12:01 p.m. So pretty good show there in Corpus Christi. Now, areas outside of the path of annularity, like for instance Houston, you're going to see maximum obscuration of 85%. And of course the total eclipse lasts over 3 hours. Let's go back up here to Washington State. Seattle area, 2.5 hours of eclipse. They're not going to see annularity. We'll only see about 80% obscuration there in Seattle. Up in Bellingham, 77% obscuration. Vancouver, a little bit less, 75.7. Chilliwack, 74.89, almost 75% obscuration. And this all starts in this area, starts at 8:08 a.m. on Saturday. Unfortunately, the weather's not looking too good, so we may not see much of a difference other than it'll get kind of dark and kind of cold on Saturday morning. So there's how you find out what it's going to be like in your area. Again, the website is called timeanddate.com, and you can follow the path anywhere along here and click on it and see what the local conditions will be. All right, thanks for watching. Watch for that eclipse Saturday morning, starting just after 8 a.m. on the West Coast. Cheers.